Ever tried doing math in Python and saw stuff like 5.0 instead of 5? Or confused about how Python deals with decimals, whole numbers, or weird stuff like 2 plus 3j? In today's video, we are going to make numbers in Python feel as easy as basic math, and by the end, you will also understand typecasting like a pro. So, let's get started. In the previous video, we have learned commands in Python. Please check out the link is in the description. And in today's video, we are diving into Python numbers and typecasting. In Python, we mainly work with three types of numbers. Integers, it is a whole number, and float is a decimal number, and finally complex numbers. These are the numbers used in advanced math. So let's see an example for each. Here, a is a variable and I'm going to store 3, 4, 5, 6. Here you see it is a list of numbers and it is also called integers in Python. It doesn't contain a decimal or a dot in between the value. Here you can see that it doesn't contain any decimal or fractional values. So this is the integers or whole numbers in Python. Here b equal to minus 3, 4, 5, 6. It is also an integer in Python. Next, we are going to see float in Python. Here c equal to 3.14567. Here you can see it contains a dot in between the sequence. So it is considered as decimal numbers in Python. Next, I'm going to use another variable here d equal to minus 4.567, and you can see it is also a decimal number in Python. And finally, we're going to see what is complex numbers in Python. A complex number contains two things. One is real and another is imaginary. Here e equal to real plus the imaginary value. We have already learned this thing in our childhood. Here I'm going to replace this real with a value called 4 and the imaginary with a value of 5. And now you can see it will add the 4 and 5. So how will it be the imaginary value? Here we are using the j. Here you can see now it is the imaginary value. Let's print this one by one. Print a, print c, and finally print e. Okay, let's run this. Here you see we get all the three values: integer, decimal, and the imaginary value. So these are the numbers in Python. Now we are going to see how to check the type of the data. Here I'm going to use the type function. It is the built-in function in Python, and I'm going to pass the variable which we have already mentioned. Here let's pass a, and it will return a particular class, and I'm going to print that class by using the print function print of type a. Let's run this. Here you see we get the class of int because it is an integer. That's why we get int. Next, I'm going to see what the other will print. Here print the type of the decimal value, which is D. Let's pass this here, D, and finally print the type of complex number E. Let's pass this here. Okay, let's run this program. Here you can see we get the class int, class float, and finally class complex. So this is how we get the type of the data by using the inbuilt type function. Python had some of the built-in functions for numbers in Python. Okay, let's see one by one. Here we are going to see absolute function. Print abs is absolute, and I'm going to pass minus 10. Let's run this. Here we get 10. Why we get 10? Because the absolute function will make the negative or positive values into a positive value. Okay, let's see with the positive value here. Print of absolute of 10. Let's run this one more time. Here you see we only get the positive values because it will return the absolute of both the negative and the positive values. Next, let's see power function in Python. And one more thing is we don't need any external modules for this because it is the built-in functions in Python. I'm going to use the power method, and you know why it is used. The power method is used to make the numbers as its power or exponential. Let's see 2, 3. Here 2 is the base and 3 is the power. Let's print this. Sorry, we have already printing this. Let's run this. Here you see we get 8 because 2 power 3 is 8. Next, we are going to see the round inbuilt method in Python. The round method will round off the decimal values. Here I'm going to pass 3.14159. So this is the decimal value and it will round off to a integer. Let's run this. Here you can see we get 3 because Python will round off and remove the external decimal values. So this is the round function in Python, and we can get a specific round values. Here print round of the same 3.14159, comma, here we can mention how many places we want to decimal places. Here I'm going to pass 3. Let's run this. Here you can see we get 3.142 because we are passing the 3 and it will neglect the 3 values. So that's why we get 3.14 and 2. And why we get 2? Because it will round off the 5. So the 1 will making as 2. And next we're going to see another built-in function called min and max. Print of min, and you know the name min is the minimum and it will return the minimum value from an array of values. Here you see we get 1 from 1 to 3. because it returned the minimum value. And finally, the max. The max function will return the maximum value 2, 4, 8. Let's run this. Here you see we get 8, and the max function will return the maximum value. These are the inbuilt functions which is used for the numbers in Python. Let's see type conversion in Python. Here we can convert the data type of the numbers from one type to another type. Here you can see the x equal to 5.9. You know it is a decimal number. We're going to convert this into an integer. Let's print, and I'm going to use the int, and it is the built-in function in Python. I'm going to use this int function to convert the x decimal value into an integer. Let's print this. Here the last you can see we get 5 because the int function will convert the decimal value into an integer. And next we are going to convert the integer into a decimal value by using the float function. The float function will return the integer into a decimal value. Let's pass y here and print this. Here you can see we get 10.0. You know it is a decimal value, and Python will convert the integer into decimal by using the float function. Next and finally, we are going to convert the string into integer by using the int. And one more thing, we are going to see the string in the next video, so don't miss that out. Here I'm going to pass z inside the integer. Let's run this. Here you can see we get 20, and we can check the type of the int function after it gets returned. Here I'm going to check type of the z which is returned. Now let's run this. Here you see we get class int because the string is converted into integer, and that's why we get the class of int. So this is the type conversion in Python. Finally, we're going to see a mini project called Simple Calculator. Here you can see we have a two variable num1 and num2, and the num will get the input from the user, enter first number, and the num2 get input from the user, enter second number. Here the both inputs are string in data type, and we are going to convert the string to float by using the float function, and you all know already. And the float function will convert the string which is come from the input into a float data type, and we are going to store the same variable num1 and num2. Here operation is a variable which get the input from the user, choose operation from plus, minus, multiply, and final decision. Here this is the condition. If the operation is plus, then we are going to print the result of num1 plus num2. If the operation is equal to minus, is a subtraction, then it will print result of num1 minus num2. If the operation is multiply, then it will print num1 star num2. And if the operation is equal to slash or division, then if the num2 is not equal to 0, it will check the coming number is not equal to 0 or the second number, then it will divide the second number to the first number. Otherwise, it will produce division by 0 error. No number will divide by 0. You all know that. And the final if condition is else and will print invalid operation. So this is the simple calculator in Python. You check out this code in my GitHub and I will paste the link is in the description. Okay, let's run this simple mini project and see what's happened. Here you see we're going to put the input, enter first number. I'm going to use 20 and the second number is 10. And we need to choose the operation. I'm going to choose the third operation is multiplication. Here you see we get 200 and I have paused that 20 is an integer and the 10 is also integer, but we get 200.0 and it is a float. So this is the type conversion we have used in this program. Here you can see we have converted the string into float. So that's it for this mini project. And that's it for today's video. If you want to see full Python tutorial playlist, check out the link is in the description. In the next video, we are going to see strings and booleans in Python. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share to your friends. And if you want the video in quick, please turn on the bell button. So, bye.